Greetings and salutations. My name is Tish, and welcome to the Artist Haven, where home plus art equals heart. In this morning's video, it is time for coffee with Tish, and that's me. Yo, hey. So I got my cup of coffee here, and we are going to be going over my little hints and tricks and tips on pouring with things that are perforated. So whether it's a colander like this, and I elevate my colander just because I seem to get a better result, and I do have a video on how I did this, and I'll put that in the little eye screen up here. So I raise them up so I get a more centered pour, I guess. And I don't have to necessarily do a balloon smash or something in the middle, or because it kind of flows together. But we'll show you this in a minute. So I've got this colander here. This is from the dollar store, and I got these they're little plastic shot glasses. I got these at the dollar store, and then this is a drain plug. I took the little thing out and hot glued this little elevating guy because it seemed to pour better that way. This I think is in the same video that I did the colander in, but it's the same concept. So, and then also the other thing that I have poured over in previous live streams is, oop, knock my chair over, is this guy here. This is a plastic mesh that I just stretched over a homemade. I hodgepodged some 1x2s together. You can see I just kind of screwed them together, pre-drilled the holes so the wood wouldn't split, and just stapled this to it. I mean, I didn't do a real good staple job because I just wanted it to be somewhat, tight and didn't move. So there's that one, and then I did a pour over some shelf material. This is just that foamy stuff that you put in your shelves, so you can have your cups rest on it. This is I think it's called Contact. It's made by the same people that make contact paper. You can get the inexpensive stuff at the dollar store, but the only thing I found that useful for was for decorating cupcakes. So, and there will be a video at some point on how I do that on my Patreon channel. So, basically, we're looking at how different things pour on different, using different holes, because you can see these are a little bit more oval. They're not exactly round. And then these have a little bit, these are more round, and so it will have a different shape. Whereas like the tennis racket pour as well too. I mean, I'll put a link in, I have a couple of videos of that, but I put a link to the one that's the time-lapse one, because that way you can see all the different results. And these are kind of triangular, diamond shaped. I guess I could pull it more and try and make them more wide, to get a different effect. So that's going to be my next step with that guy. But today we're going to stick with probably doing the colander. But I did want to show you one of the key things to this is you don't want to use a big gigantic colander, okay, on a little tiny canvas. This is an 8x10. You don't want to put this on here because you're going to pour your paint in there, and it's gonna flow right off, and you're going to lose all your effect. So you want to use something. What I usually do is I take whatever I'm pouring into, and if it doesn't fit on the canvas, like see how that edge is hanging over the edge? If it doesn't fit on the canvas, don't use it. Okay? I mean, you can try it for yourself, but I've had the best results when I'm using, almost dropped that on the floor. When I'm using, this is 11x14, and you can see that this has, because this will fit in here, because when you pour your paint, you're going to find that this is going to be the edge of where your paint goes, and that'll still give me a lot of room to stretch out my paint. This is the smallest I would go for a colander pour. But also, one thing that's kind of cool is you can use, and I've done this before, where you can use a smaller object on a larger canvas and just do one pour here, one pour here, one pour here, and they kind of collide together. So it's, you know, you can be creative with it. And even something like this small, you can go down to like a, let's see, do I have a 4x4 tile? Boop. No, this, yes, I have a 5x5. This is a 5x5. So I'd be safe using that on a 5x5 because your paint is going to usually, you're only going to do a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, and then you'll have enough room to stretch it out. Probably don't want to go much further than that, but okay. So now that we have that going, well, good morning, Michelle. Let's see here. I guess I must be an early riser this morning. So what are we going to do? We're going to go over a little bit of consistency, and I spilled my white paint. There we go. If you are new to the channel and are not aware of how I mix my paints, I have other videos in the playlist, and I'll put the link to that playlist on how I mix my paints. And there goes Miss Betty Boop this morning. So, hold on one second here. I'm having issues with my, there we go. Okay. Let's see. For some reason, okay. There we go. Okay. I was having problems. It was like wanting to do weird things. But anyways, I mix paint to be about a 3 to a 5 in consistency with Floetrol and paint. And sometimes, depending if I'm using a heavy body paint, I will use a pouring medium to help thin it out a little bit. So, and also for effect. So when I say a 3 to a 5, try and get this to get in the shadow a little bit. That's your trace line, and if it disappears within 3 to 5 seconds, then that's your 3, you know, so 1, 2, 3, that's an exact 3. And I call it trace because I'm a soap maker, and that's what we call it, making soap. I just mix this up, so it's going to be a little bubbly. And so I know all of these are going to be very similar in what's consistency. There we go. Too much coffee or not enough? I haven't decided yet. Good morning, Dina. Good to see you. Yeah, I need coffee. I'm on my second cup. And when I say cup, y'all, I mean this big Jahujic thing. It's one of those travel mugs. That's what I make my coffee in every morning. I've been trying to not have 3 in a day because then I can't sleep at night. So for our color palette tonight, or today, see, really. So for our color palette, we're going to be using whites, and this is just basic Floetrol and Artist Loft. I need more of this, the Flow Acrylic. Boop. So I'm down to like a quarter of a bottle. I have them all standing up on end, trying to get that last little bit, and then I'll put water in it, shake it out, and then use that water to mix other mediums that I use in my other art forms. And that will also be on my Patreon. So now I'm using the Artist Loft Metallic Leaf Green, which is my favorite green because it's almost like a color shift. And then Artist Loft Raw Umber. So actually, let's do this one. Let's do I wanted to do Raw Umber. And I actually like the Master's Touch Raw Umber better. So, but I just got some paint, and I think Raw Umber is in there. So, and this sounds a little, no, it's good. Just needs a little good, really good shake. Good morning, Chris. Good to see you, sir. Here's me. I'm shaking my paint. Grandson. Oh, goodness gracious. 5:30 a.m. See, I spent the last 2 years getting up at 3 a.m. So now it's like I'm in this habit now where I'm up at 5 a.m. usually. Okay, and then I've got the quinacridone magenta from Liquitex Basics. There's some paint on there. So shake this up, and then I've got a little bit of the Master's Touch Payne's Gray, which is not my favorite, but I want to use it up and get rid of it because that way I can use this bottle for something else. Because I'm going to stick with the Liquitex Basics Payne's Gray because I get a better result. This is still a pretty color. It's just not my favorite. So I'm shaking with both hands here. And I did shake them up a little bit before the live, but just want to make sure that they're a good consistency. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to pour a puddle. And what we're going to do is we're going to find the center here, kind of. Don't mind my hair. I've been cleaning and sweating, and so I'll probably end up taking 2 showers today, but I haven't taken one yet this morning. So we're going to pour a little puddle right in the middle here, just like this. Okay. And the reason why I do this is because the elevated colander, that way it gives it something to go into right away. We're just going to kind of flow it around. And it also helps keep the colors moving, and then you don't lose your lines. And this is just stuff that I found out, that I've discovered. Hang on, I need my tweezers. Where do you go, my favorite little tool? Good morning, Lee. See, cold winter or cold weather, I'm a hibernator. Summertime, early riser, got up before the sun. Yeah, I was, yeah. Dina, I get that. I just can't sleep. Yeah, there are nights where I am up till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. I just stay up all day. Okay, I saw a little booger or fur. Let me get that out of there, I think. I missed it. There we go. Yep, we had a little booger in there. Paint boogers are no fun. Okay. I think that's part of the reason why I tried melatonin, and to be honest with you, it gave me more of a hangover than a shot of Jack or something would give me, so I quit taking it. I have like 3/4 of a bottle in my pantry. Is that another globber? What is the deal? Probably because it's the bottom of the paint bucket. That's why I try and mix it up as soon as I get it. Here we go. There we go. Oh, that was a hair. Yep. See? Yeah, I use, Michelle, I do, I spread it out further than, just so it's a thin coating, and it'll help give the painting, when I go to tip it, it'll help give the painting some texture, some traction. Okay, so we're going to kind of, I like doing it like this. So we're going to kind of, I'm going to kind of put it off center. Oh, wait. I'm wibbly wobbly this morning. Let's rectify that. There we go. I'm going to kind of do it off center, but still kind of on center. And always make sure that your canvas is taut, because you don't want your paint to sag in the middle. So you can do whatever tricks you have to make it taut. And I will go over some of mine at a later date. So I'm going to put just a little bit of white just to help start getting it flowing. There we go. And then we're going to do the Payne's Gray, and we'll probably do 2 layers. We'll see. And I kind of just pour like I'm pouring a layered cup, I guess. Okay. Well, there is something I missed going on. Okay, well, let's see how this goes. There is something going on here. Hold on. Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to just pour this paint in there. I want to put a little bit of white in there. I might have to do another repour because for some reason this paint doesn't want to come out the bottom. I've never had this problem before. Of course, I'm on a live and I'm having this problem. Oh, good golly, now I can't get this open. Hold on. I gotta get my tool. Okay. Oh, that's not working. I can't find my big vice grip. There we go. There we go. Well, we might have to try this again. That's okay. No mistakes in painting. Just happy accidents. We're going to still layer this cup, though. Hopefully gravity will kick in. And if it doesn't, because if all else fails, force it. And the green. There we go. So, you know what? I'm impatient. I'm going to take the hairdryer out. Okay, so I do have it plugged in. Okay, there we go. So before I turn this on, I'd like to do a warning, a little final countdown for you, so you don't hurt your ears or anything. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see if that helped. I don't think it did, but we're gonna try it. We're just gonna go with it. Okay, put that off to the side. And I am going to take my skewer. You did a resin pour with coffee beans? That's awesome. Okay, so we're gonna kind of just swirl this middle a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to put just a little bit of paint on the corners here, and we'll smooth this out. Stick. There we go. I just realized I forgot to close my patio door because there's a lot of traffic noise outside. I live right by a major freeway. Okay, so let's get some of this right here. There we go. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but we're going to play and we're going to have fun and see what happens. There we go. Works for me. Get some of that extra paint off. There we go. All right, we're going to tip it this way. Let me go down. Okay. I'm going to bring that kind of back to the center. Let's see. I'm going to tip it more that way. I don't like that corner. Golly jeepers. You know, I kind of like it like that. All right, so let's bring it down a little bit more. I'm going to down just a little bit. There we go. All right, I'm not a big fan of that corner either. So what we're going to do, instead of trying, because I like the composition, I just don't like this corner, so I'm going to wipe off these drippies. Here's my paper towel. I knew I had one ready. Sadly, only one. I'm always thinking it's alive when it's moving. Yeah, I know. That's one of the cool things about paint is it flabbergasts me sometimes. Okay, so I want to get a little chunk, and I cleaned off my table, so I know what this. I hope this will work. And I'm just gonna do a line like that to get some of that white off of there, because I still want some white. Just don't want it completely like white like it was. Okay. Yes, I need to clean my knife. Okay, let's torch this really quick, and then we're going to do another one. I'm going to water down this Payne's Gray. I think the Payne's Gray is thicker than I thought it was. because I haven't used it in a while. So paints thicken as you let them sit. So we'll pour a little bit into a cup. And water it down a little bit. Okay, let me move this guy. Oh, I don't have my, okay, we're just gonna set him on top of the garbage can. There we go. So I don't get things any more messed up than they already are, because it was dripping on my lid. That's no bueno. Okay, let's bring this up for a close-up for y'all. And I think I have a spot over there. So that kind of, it looks brown in the light, but it's actually the Payne's gray. So this is the vibe. And I love the lacing that's in here, and there's some streaking and some color, and just, I don't know. The metallic, that green is metallic, so it's got so much dimension to it already. All right, let me grab a towel here. You know, hair dryer, you know, when I said, like I said, oh, I'm going to do another one, Tracy. Hello, hello. Yeah, the hair dryer, you know, my hair dryer has saved me a couple of times. It's like, well, let's turn this into a Dutch port, or let's just blow this out and see what happens. So let me get a spot over here. Whoop, I'm dropping stuff. Okay. Let me grab this tray and bring it over here. There we go. That over. Oops. Knocking stuff over. Of course, I try and talk to it and tell it to stay, and then it doesn't listen, and then I get upset because it doesn't listen. You know what I'm going to do really quick? Hang on. Oops. Other than wipe the edges off again. So I'm going to take this skewer, and I'm going to bring this like that. Like that. There. Because it kind of ends abruptly. I like that better. Sometimes you got to help them along. They're a little stubborn like me. I'm just going to kind of... Yeah. There we go. There. Put the skewer back up top where it goes. So there is that painting. And it's got just a little bit of pink in there. I don't know where that purple came from, but there's some purple going on down here. I think that's where the Payne's gray and the magenta mixed together. So that's a happy accident. Okay, let's take out a little cup here. I'll use a Dixie cup. We're gonna, whoop, well, I guess I wanted two. So let's mix up a little bit of this Payne's gray, because that seemed to be part of the issue. Yeah, it's really thick. Let me grab a stick. Oh yeah, that's really thick. That's not even coming off the stick. Yeah, so let's fix that issue. So what I'm watering it down with is a 50-50 mix of Floetrol and water. Because the one thing that I had when I first started doing this, hang on, let's use a different stick. When I first started doing acrylic pours, I had a problem with things drying and cracking. And one of the reasons for that is because your water content is too high. So I eliminated that issue, and now I rarely have cracking. There we go. Yeah, that's, we're gonna put just a tish more in there. Okay, because I would almost rather have it too thin than not thin enough. All right. You know, let's do a little bit of the white too. Although I think the white is pretty okay. But just in case. We'll use that in the middle. Okay. So let's grab this other canvas. Got this little 8x10 here. I've got my little drain stop, sink plug, whatever you want to call it. And it is humid today, so I'm just going to do one here. And everything is like off kilter today. So I'm going to do a little puddle here. And this is just the my regular mix. A little shake it a boot. There we go. I'm going to torch this a little bit too because there's a lot of air bubbles in there. Morning, Johnny. Okay. I'm going to do this one pretty on center and we'll see how it happens. Okay, there we go. Put a little dot of white in there. Yes, the white's fine. It's dripping down like it's supposed to. There we go. Payne's gray. And the magenta. And we'll do this watered down white. And we'll do the green. I used way too much paint, but that's okay. And we're just going to put a little bit of this raw umber and then a little bit of the white. And then we'll finish it off with that Payne's gray. Just a little drop of white. And a little bit of Payne's gray. There we go. No, hang on, you know what? I'm in a mood. Let's see if it'll come out. This is just some copper. Whoa. Okay. There we go. Let that sit for a minute and let it kind of drip out. As we clean up as I clean up my buckets here, my bottles. There we go. I can spit it out. How high is the surface? It's about the height of a shot glass. Hang on, I'll show you the glass that I used. And if I can find I've got a tape measure too, so I can give you a little bit more. Well, and we're tipping off that way. Hey, you, get back here. There we go. So let me cover up these real quick before we go to. There we go. I'll use these for something else real quick too, I'm sure. Okay, so here's the cups that I used. And these I use for resin to mix colors in. And hopefully my fingers won't fail me. We're looking at 4 centimeters or 1.5 inches tall, about. So I don't know if you can see that. I turned my autofocus off because otherwise it's all retarded and doesn't want to do what I tell it to do. So yeah, about 4 centimeters tall, a little over 1.5 inches. Like not, it's not like, it's not like, it's like 1 inch and, what would that be? Like 9/16. So, all right. I'm going to do something and just give this a twist. There we go. And I think what we're going to do, I'm going to bring a skewer in here because I don't have a balloon ready. We're just going to do. I just realized I have my tongue sticking out. That's kind of funny. All right. I have a lot of paint on here, so let's tip it this way first because I want to keep that copper. There we go. Really? Gonna be like that, so all else fails force it. It's kind of my motto. Okay, so we're gonna kind of bring this around town like this. Down. Really? All right. Since I don't like that corner down there, we're gonna go back down there. I'm gonna open up some of these layers. And you'll notice that when I do colander pours, they don't always look round. Because I find something that I like and I just kind of go with it. Okay. Chip some of this off. There we go. Now, you would have never thought that was a colander pour. But see, this, I'll show you. Hang on. Let me wipe off my drips. That way I can wipe off my hands and not have to worry about making everything a mess. Oh, this canvas is really loose. That's probably why things didn't do. Jeez. Did I forget to spray it? Probably. Okay. There we go. Hang on, let me grab my towel. Okay. So let me torch this real quick and then I'll bring it up and I'll show you my parts that I really like. I am a non-traditionalist, I guess. Everybody's colander pours look like flowers and they're all pretty, and mine are pretty, but they're just different. Let's see if some of that. Now I wish I would have used the titanium white, but that's okay. It's okay. We're going to go with it. So, all right. Let's see if I can make my hand big enough to hold it. There we go. This is why I like colander pours. That segment of ribbon, or whatever you want to call it. That is why I like colander pours. It's because you don't get that with any other. You can do that with like a tray ring pour. There we go. A ring pour or a ribbon pour. You can get that, but your whole canvas looks like that. The colander pour, you get chunks of it. So, hey, Johnny, you still here? You have a video coming out today. It's Thursday, honey. I want to see another swing pour. Those are so freaking cool. Yeah, see, and I'm liking it. I think I want the orientation to be a little bit different, more like this. That's how I would present it. And that's the thing about fluid art and the arts that we do. You can put it any orientation that suits your fancy. So even though I have things hung up on my wall one certain way, it's like, I like it the other way better, but it's still pretty. So those are my little hints and tricks. You want a nice level purchase, a tight canvas. You want your paint consistency to be at a 3-ish. You don't want it too fluid because otherwise you're going to lose all your lines. Or you don't want it too liquid, otherwise you're going to lose all your lines. So, and that's how I got that veining that's in there, is that white was more thin. And I wanted it to kind of dissipate and disappear. So I'm going to set this here because I don't have a shelf ready for my drying rack. So we're just going to set that there. I'll probably dip some cabochons in this because this is really wicked cool. But for like a wider hole also, like on the tennis racket pour, I used paint that was like at least a 3, if not a 5, in countdown, in my countdown for trace. And so something, that's larger like this, the larger the hole you want, the thicker the paint you want. We'll put the link in there, silly man. I'm excited. Okay, now I'll go watch Johnny's video. So I will be live tomorrow night with Brooke for Friday Night Flip Cup. It's going to be epic, as it always is, because we have way too much fun, I think. And then Saturday night is Saturday Night Shenanigans, where you guys, the viewers, get to pick the colors, and it'll be awesome. So, and also Friday night I release a new video, so I gotta go put the finishing touches on that right now. So y'all have a great day. Thank you for joining me. Smash that like button. Put a smile on your face and get through your day. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am grateful for you. Thank you so very much. Remember, be kind to one another. Peace, love, and happiness.